remembering all different aspects of their study, remembering their help which they got from their own friends, their group members, and that's how difficulties faced during the exams, the tension faced during exam, and so on. Yes. Suddenly, a thing happened. And one person, the one girl started screaming on top of her voice. So everyone looked at what happened. So now, by the time this question came, all other girls looked at her shoulder and there was a cockroach sitting on her shoulder. So one of the girls' soldier. So that shoulder, funnily, the soldier is also coming in my mind. Okay, then that shoulder and that cockroach on the shoulder, everyone was scared now. And she started screaming. Now, because of that sound, that cockroach went on flying on someone else's back. And that other girl started screaming. And it took a round to go on one and other person's body. By the time this whole chaos was going on, the waiter came running and he saw, my God, this is a problem. He just took one napkin and got hold of that cockroach, took that cockroach to the outside of the. So now they got settled down and they enjoyed their lunch as a great sort of celebration. Now, let me just focus on this so-called as a short anecdote. What's that? See, it is not the cockroach causing a disturbance. Please note, it is not the cockroach causing the disturbance. It is inability to understand as well as manage that cockroach on by self or by oneself, that is creating a chaos. What I said, it is not a cockroach which is causing the disturbance. Please understand, the disturbance and the chaos is caused because of the girl's inability to handle it, to remove it on her own. So, in life, please note, generally the youngsters, when they talk to their parents, sometimes parents scold them. And then they feel so much bad, so much insulted sort of, and gets completely disturbed. It is not, again, the words or the scolding of the mother or father that is disturbing this youngster. No, this is not. What is disturbing factor? Inability to accept and handle the situation. Please note it. Inability to understand and accept the situation. So this is another important aspect. Just I'm giving few examples. Third example, when we drive on the road, and mostly during such heavy rains, and there is again a traffic jam everywhere, and we got stuck up if we are on the roads. Now, again, there is a disturbance of the mind. Again, understand, disturbance is not because of the traffic jam. Disturbance is because of our inability to handle the situation. Hope the point is clear now. It's inability of our own mind to handle the situation which causes a disturbance, which causes a very sort of agitation in the mind. Next aspect. See, we all are no doubt living our own life. And we have achieved whatever we have achieved till today, not so-called as less, but it's quite sufficient, or we are trying to achieve more also. But what is an important aspect now? Even though we have achieved whatever we have achieved, or we are in the process of achieving our goals, our mind causes so much disturbance. And because of this disturbance, the mind, the life, because of the disturbance of the mind, is not peaceful. The life is not joyful. It is always in bits and pieces, bits and pieces, bits and pieces. Therefore, what do we require? So we all want quality of the life. It's not just a life, but we want a quality of the life. So mind well, friends, for quality of life, now we are going to ask 3 important questions. Have you ever focused on what's going on in your mind? Have you ever focused on what's going on in your mind? Are you aware of it? This is the first question. So if something is going on in our mind and we are not aware, then that causes the disturbance. Okay, first. Second important point. Are you aware of the wants as well as the needs? Wants as well as the needs. Wants as well as the needs. I just said it 2-3 times, Joe, so that it should hit your mind. Second important aspect. Have you ever thought, where is your focus? Have you ever thought, where is your focus? If your focus is on what you do not have, if your focus is what you do not have rather than what you have, then there is a great chance of disturbance. So 3 important points I mentioned. The first, are you aware of what's happening in your mind? What's happening in your mind? If you are not aware, then that causes a great disturbance in the life. Second, are you aware of the needs and the wants? Third important point is, we all know that our focus mostly goes to what I do not have, but we should always try and focus what I have. Okay, so all these 3 points we are going to discuss one by one. We require quality of life, and quality of life requires a balanced state of mind. Quality of requires balanced state of mind. Now the first point, if you are not aware of what's going on in our mind, if you are not aware of what's going on in our mind, then we cannot handle our own thoughts, because thoughts makes a mind. Mind is nothing but flow of thoughts. So please take this note that we should be able to understand what's going on in our mind quickly as and when it comes on the surface. Okay, let me give this example, what I mean by awareness, because there are few people, those who are too new, so they may not understand what's called as awareness. I'm just giving an example of awareness. Now, you all are here, and hopefully, you are alone in your room. Hopefully. Fine. So, I'm giving one exercise to you. In 1 minute, exactly in 1 minute, you have to count how much breath you take in 1 minute. You got it? I said 1 minute I'm giving to you, and you have to count how many breath you take. How? Like air coming in and going out. Air coming in and going out is 1. So like that, air coming in and going out. Let us start. 1, 2, 3. Time is over. Now, can you tell me how many breath you counted in 1 minute? You can put it either in the chat box, or you can tell me by putting your audio video on. 31. Okay. Anyone else? 19. Okay. Anyone? 21. Okay. So Tanmay, Ajay, and Mamta, they have answered. That's now Bhamini, 28. Oh, that's fine. Enough. Now just imagine. It's enough. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now just imagine. This is the topmost way to increase your awareness. Because I will take up all your questions when I complete my theory part. Okay, let me just explain these 3 points, and then we will have a question answer session. I will answer your questions, hopefully almost all. Okay, so point number 1. The breath which is going on so silently in our life, it is as if we do not notice it also that my breath is going on. See, think about it. It is so silently happening, coming and going of this air in our lungs through our nostrils, happening very, very silently. But it is continuous. But it is continuous, and there is no gap in between. Yes, because if for a short while also, if it stops, then our life will not be there. Fine. So what did we do? We focused on this so-called as subtle action, which is called as breathing. And the moment you focused on it for a minute, you could understand that in 1 minute, you are taking this many breaths. Now, let me tell you, nobody asked me, but let me tell you how many breaths I took in 1 minute. Can you guess? Anyone? Quickly.
16.
Quickly.
16.
17, Richa. Okay. That's nice. 26, 25, Tanmay. 66. Oh my God. 20, Radhika. Okay.
Swamiji, 19.
Mitai. Okay, please. Yeah. You don't say anything. I'm reading your all chat. Just please. It's done. Fine. Thank you. So I'll answer. I took 3 long, nice breath in 1 minute. And it was very slow and very joyful. Now just imagine, you all can understand. Every human being, medical science says, we take normally 18 to 22 breaths in a minute. 18 to 22 breaths in a minute. Now, if I'm taking 3, that means I have lowered my rate of breathing. And it cannot happen suddenly. It is called as a very great effect of pranayama. Pranayama is a technique. So, hope it is clear now what is awareness. I'm not going to explain this subject more. I have just gave you one nice example that what is awareness, and that example is also very fit, and you can bring more awareness and reduce your breath so you can be more effective and more qualitative. Okay. Next point. As I said, are you aware of what's happening in your mind? So as you could understand how to count the breath, similarly, you should be able to see what's happening in your mind. The moment you have negative thought, your mind gets disturbed. Please note, the moment you have negative thought about the object, about the person, about the situation, or whatever you can understand. So about anything, if you have a negative thought, your mind is disturbed. Now quickly, awareness is that to bring a positive thought immediately. Immediately, if you bring a positive thought immediately by right awareness, by mindfulness, then this negative thought which is there, you are not destroying it, but in the presence of strong positive thought, this becomes weak and gets dissolved. And that's how you can again reach to the balanced state of mind. Second important point. This I have explained. Now the first point which I asked about you, that are you aware of what's happening in your mind? Second point, are you focusing your attention on needs or wants? See, needs, basic needs of every person is such that if you work little, you will complete and you will get it. Needs. Let me give an example. All over the world, there are n number of animals which are staying in forest. Please note it. There are n number of birds everywhere. There are n number of aquatic animals in the ocean, as well as big rivers and ponds. Similarly, the ferocious animals in the deep forest. Understand, they all are getting what is called as need. What is required for the life as a need, they all get it. Now, human beings are such. Their focus is never on the needs alone, but they keep growing in wants. So understand, if your needs are complete, then understand you can have a wants, but understand if it is there, it is fine. If it is not there, it is fine. So the principle to apply is wow. What is the principle? Wow. WOW. With or without. With or without, I am fine. That's the principle should be applied for the ones in the life. Because if it is not today, tomorrow you will get it. Don't worry about it. If your needs are fulfilled, then you should always keep your mind focused on needs and not continuously on wants. Because one want, when we complete or we get it, then the next comes, then the next comes, and next comes. Because wants does not have any end. Okay, I'm going to stop this topic to be aware of it. So the wants, if they are more and they are not fulfilled, then there's a disturbance of the mind, and then mind gets completely, the life gets completely disturbed. The third important aspect, as I told, what I have, if I do not pay attention and focus on, and I continuously focus on what I do not have, looking at people around us. So if your focus is only on other person and not on yourself, you will never able to improve. And you will never able to appreciate yourself. So start appreciating your own qualities. If you appreciate your own quality, you will grow in that quality. You will grow in that quality. And when you grow in that quality, you can do better and better in your life. So awareness, mindfulness brings qualitative change in our life. Awareness, mindfulness brings qualitative change in our life. Once we start having this qualitative change in our life becomes much better, much steady, much balanced, and much focused on our correct goal of life, which whatever you must have had. So this is what, in short, I wanted to tell you about the mindfulness. So let us now have a question answer session, because we are not going to have a big sessions. We are going to have small short session to understand the topic. Hope the topic is clear. You can ask me any question related to the topic. Please, question please.
Hariam Swamiji.
Yes.
Swamiji, I have a question that in the starting of the session, you told us that this is the problem of our inability. So how we can change our inability into our ability?
Yes. So inability is what? So I gave that simple short story of not able to accept the cockroach and not able to manage. So the first and foremost, ask this question: is this cockroach dangerous to life? So the answer is no. Is it going to cause a big harm to me? Answer is no. Is it going to bite me? No. Then why am I having so much of fear, or why am I having so much of dislike to this cockroach? If I just take one hand or keep a handkerchief on my hand and push that cockroach little away, it can fly and go away. But having not thought about it, having got conditioned by your own wrong notions about the cockroach, you have developed the inability. So therefore, the right knowledge like this, asking the right question, understanding the situation, developing a courage, you can convert your inability into the ability. Hope it is clear, Mamata.
जी Swamiji.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Swamiji, just one thing you
Yeah.
mentioned whilst in counting the breaths. If I mean, how you counted only three times, while I counted more than 20. So how to reduce the number?
I said pranayama technique. If you
Acha.
regularly do a pranayama under a person who is well trained,
Okay.
then you will understand how you can reduce your breath. And the moment you reduce your breath, your mind slows down. When the mind slows down, you become balanced. And then your mind, if it is balanced, you produce or you are more creative and you are more effective.
All right, Swamiji.
Okay?
Thank you, Swamiji. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Oh, that's the topic is, I think, then the clear. If there are no more questions, so this topic, please focus it on. And if you can focus on it, I will assure you that you will have a better balance of the mind. By a better balance of the mind, you can have a quality of your focus on whatever you are doing. And if you focus on what you are doing, you can really be creative. You can use your potential to the great extent. And that's how this awareness, the mindfulness, can be very helpful in our life. Hope it's clear. And let me then, if there are no more questions, end this session by saying the prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om. Thank you for one and all joining with us for this session.